this might be the one. We might have to do Bongino, who is looking for a teepee for his bunghole. I think his name is Bongino. I can't tell from the visuals. Is that the dude's name? Is Bongino's his middle name? Show is his last name. First name Faux, right? Faux. All right. And then of course, let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So let's say this fascinates me. Yes, Bongino, looking for a teepee for his bunghole. This is the truth behind Trump's Taliban deal. Well, this will settle it. You know what I mean? Because I was worried. I thought nobody knew the reality behind all this stuff. I wanted to hear. Let me see if I can get ready. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Do I have to, hold on. Maybe I'm ready now. Hey, Bongino, buddy. Come on, man. The truth is, I watch Bongino every day, man, every day. Because he's got the guts, the hard nuggets to say the truth that I'm hearing in my mind, even when facts don't stand up to it, man. Come on. Give it to me, Bongino. Give it to me, you big sweaty man. Tell us the truth. All right, sorry. That's wrong. I don't look half bad with a bald head. It's all right. It's not optimal, but it's reasonable. People didn't buy that? Come on, man. Do it. Do it, man. Bongino, tell me the truth, buddy. Come on, lay it out.
Hey, Dan, I've heard conflict.
If you're going to read it, you're going to read it in my voice. Hey, Dan, I've heard conflicting stories about some deal President Trump made with the Afghanistan leadership and the Taliban, in which the U.S. agreed to be out by May 1st. Can you share some truth about this, please? Apollonia 88. Look, I had no idea that when we were coming up with Twitter handles that they would be this hard to change. Okay? And look, this all goes back to one summer when I was mistaken about if this was indeed Lake Minnetonka. It's not important. The important thing is I freeze my ass off and I got a fish caught in my G-string. It's not important. Sorry. Okay, back to normal. Okay. Apollonia 88. Apollonia 88? Really? I'm a sex shooter, shooting off in your direction. Morris is making moves, son. You better kick ass tomorrow night, else.
Stories about some deal President Trump made with the Afghanistan.
Yeah, some deal.
Leadership and the Taliban, in which the U.S. agreed to be out by May 1st. Can you share some truth about this, please? That's Apollonia 88. That is the perfect question to start the show because
Is it? You're just going to breeze right by Apollonia 88. You're just not going to fucking touch it at all. You're not going to, this is not, hold on, son of a bitch. I got way too many. Oh God, hold on. I'm never going to be able to hold it on. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. That won't work. I thought I was going to be able to find something like Prince level glasses where I could go. So look here, I put on the back of my bike and we went riding down by old man Johnson's farm. All right, sorry. I'm such a dick today. This is so weird. All right, here we go.
Let the administration, the Biden administration, attempt to shift the narrative again.
Yeah, tell them. Yeah, shifty narratives.
Three things here, media-wise, the Biden administration, I want you to be savvy to. We covered two of them yesterday, but I'm going to hit them again today.
Yeah, you're going to have to, because I know none of us were watching, honestly.
Do not fall into this trap. I feel like my goal here today is to do anything we can to save lives on the ground in Afghanistan. But second, to make sure you and I get the truth, that we are seeing eye to eye on what the actual...
Yeah, but it's a close second.
...truth and facts are. We cannot let the media, in conjunction with the Biden administration, distract us right now.
No, don't be distracted by what Trump didn't do last year and the year before and the year before and the year before.
Fall for this narrative. You know what? Let me play the video first. But I saw a couple people, even on the Republican side, fall for this yesterday. Like, oh, look, Biden's finally acknowledging how great Trump did with the... That's not what any of this is about. This is very
definitely not
sophisticated stunt Biden's trying to pull by citing the Trump deal with the Taliban before. Play this cut of Biden, and I'll explain what's going on the way back. Check this out.
The reason why, whether my friend will acknowledge it or has reported it, the reason why there were no attacks on Americans, as you said, from the date until I came into office, was because the commitment was made by President Trump. I will be out by May 1st. In the meantime, you agree not to attack any Americans. That was the deal. Mm-hmm. That's why no American was attacked.
I saw a lot of people fall in this trap yesterday, even Republicans and pretty savvy conservatives.
They fall in what trap? Of disagreeing or agreeing with reality? Was that it?
Like, great, Biden's finally acknowledging how great Trump is for making this deal. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about at all.
No.
What Biden's trying to do now, and if this doesn't make sense, Joe Geese.
No, it doesn't make sense, largely because of your descriptives about it so far. Get on with it, man.
Not me as the audience official ombudsman, but what Biden's trying to do now is Biden's trying to say, listen, he knows the evacuation and the hasty evacuation of Afghanistan without a conditions-based approach on the ground was a disaster. He knows.
By the way, the condition he's talking about again is the condition of never leaving. It's a one-stop shop for all conditions on the ground.
He made one of the biggest tactical blunders in U.S. history. Biden, his team knows that. Biden may not know anything. He's cognitively impaired, but Biden's team knows this. We just lost our guys yesterday. 90 plus Afghans were killed. They know they had a disaster, so they're looking to blame someone.
No, he said this all along. And everyone also knows this. Do I even have to bring up, let's see. Let's go. Trump deal with Taliban. But tell us how we're not media savvy enough. Let's see. There was one particular. This thing. That guy right there. That situation right there. By the way, this guy never left near his seat. It seems like Pompeo took a step towards the center to get a close-up shot with the Taliban guy that he was there with. That guy just stood up for the picture, but Pompeo was sitting in that chair and got up, I guess, assuming this guy would come over, that Baradar would step over and they would both do a kind of like step and repeat buddy shot, shoulder to shoulder on this. Look at this picture. I mean, Mike Pompeo didn't just teleport from his seat to where he's standing. He took that step towards the leader I guess, assuming of the Taliban, which they had just made the leader, by the way. Hype train. Yeah. Let's see how Bongino, who's looking a little sleepy right now in this freeze frame, how Bongino wants to paint this as anything other than Trump tried to concoct one of his shitty deals that he never intends to follow through on, and that magically it would have worked.
What they want to do now is they want to say, well, this wasn't a decision we made. This was a decision Trump made.
Well, no. Trump made a decision to be out by May 1st, but didn't do any of the planning. The decision Biden made was to push to August 31st, but no further, and not allow his stuff to be punted by everyone because Trump didn't do any prep. They decided to stick with the August 31st deadline. He also could have kept punting like Trump did. Every other leader, I mean, Obama had come up with a plan to leave by 2016. We just read about it. And yet, it never happened because everybody kept kicking the can down the road. So Trump, like everybody before him, kicked the can down the fucking road, and Biden said no more.
Make a deal with the Taliban to get out by May 1st, and we were bound to live by it. And look, the reason...
No, we weren't bound to live by it, clearly, because we fucking moved it to August 31st, dipshit.
We were bound to live by it and wanted to live by this deal is because the deal was so good. Look, no one was even...
It was so sweet. This was such a deal. And the best part about it, we would have left all those Afghans there. Who the fuck wants those people in their country?
Killed on the ground. It was such a good deal, we have to abide by it. Digest that. Does everybody get that, Joe?
Yeah. What part of it has a time limit, and that all the killing starts if we don't make an agreement with the Taliban and keep it and leave? Stupid. Goddamn. Like we vacillate all the time. I think Mark Levin currently right now has the Dum Dum Award. He's officially the stupidest person in right-wing media. Bongino is always giving him a run for his money.
Yeah. Makes sense? Biden saying very simply in that, you're not giving me a head nod. Does that make sense to you? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you only know if what you're saying is right if your producers tell you it is. Incredibly manly. I mean, is there a better definition than of an Ubermensch?
Biden saying the deal was so good that Trump made that I had to abide by it. Nobody was killed. Trump. So you may say, oh, well, he's celebrating President Trump. No, that's not what he's doing, because that wasn't President
Trump. Nobody was mistaken and thought that he was, quote, celebrating President Trump. Because if he was celebrating him, he would have said, Trump set this deal for May 1st, and it's May 2nd, and we're no longer there because we got out all of our Afghan allies and the Americans, and we had a plan to get out, and he just left me with a fucking plan, this strategy to get out, and it wasn't in all this fucking memo he left on his desk that said conditions on the ground have to be that there are no Al-Qaeda in the country before we leave, which there's no way we would believe them if they told us, yeah, totally, there's no more Al-Qaeda. Yeah, no, they don't even exist. I don't even know. We talked to everybody. Not a one. I don't know, guys. And this all like, we trust the Taliban? The administration trusts the Taliban? You're negotiating with Taliban? Trump negotiated with them. And he was trusting them, apparently, that they would, if they told us no more Al-Qaeda in the country, we'd go, oh, phew.
He's trying to blame Trump, not celebrate Trump. He's trying to blame Trump for making a bad deal. Look,
Well, tell us your thoughts on the contents of the deal.
This deal, you didn't make it conditions based on the ground, and I had to abide by it, and we had to get out.
No, it was based on conditions on the ground. We decided that those conditions are unmeetable, and it was a recipe to stay in Afghanistan forever. So fuck you. We're leaving.
That's not at all what happened.
That's not what happened, guys. And he's pointing at you to let you know that he's trying to use his physically imposing look, I mean, to some people, and it's just this assertion to tell you that pointing is bad.
You go to this BBC article. This is, you get the political one. You go to this BBC article, you'll see right after President Trump and his administration cut this deal with the Taliban to be out of Afghanistan by May 1st.
Uh-huh.
It was just days after the deal signed February 29, 2020, February 29th, in a leap year, which is, weird in and of itself, right?
No, it isn't. It's not weird that, like, wow, what are the odds? Like, we went in on February 29th and it was a leap year and the surge was on February 29th. That's weird. None of that is true. Why is it weird? Is it just because this asshole has a hard time with the concept of leap year? Okay. The Gregorian calendar made the mistake. Never mind.
Signed a deal February 29th. Look at the date on this article, the BBC.
Afghanistan conducts first airstrike on Taliban since deal, March 4th. Uh-huh.
4th, 2020. Just a few days after President Trump signs the deal. Afghan conflict. U.S. conducts first airstrike on Taliban since deal.
So he wasn't keeping up his end of the deal, so he never intended to, is your point?
You picking up what I'm putting down?
No.
President Trump, although they made this deal with the Taliban, made it conditions-based. Right. Just days after the Taliban was starting to attack.
Yes, no one thought that Trump would not be okay with there being more war and us staying in longer. The fact that it only took him till March 4th to launch an airstrike, even though in that time, supposedly from the day they signed it, there were no one fired on American troops, he still did an airstrike, meant that he was never going to meet the conditions and therefore never expected them to meet the conditions. And then if you just keep bombing, then, the more of a chance that they'll shoot somebody in retaliation, and therefore we can just stay. We could just stay.
And President Trump said, screw that deal. I'm going to light you sons of bitches up. You could leave that in too. Sorry, folks, about that, but it's important.
Yeah, nobody. Well, sons of bitches is actually a Christian curse against the followers of Aphrodite, actually, because the statues of her had dogs underneath because it was a fertility thing, and they would have the dogs laying around her, and you could see the teats of the dog, and it was kind of representative of her as a god of eroticism and birth. And Christians would make fun of her followers as the dogs that lay at her feet. So they were the children of the dogs that laid at Aphrodite's feet, and called them sons of bitches. So I don't know that it applies. I don't think there are many Aphrodite worshiping Taliban, but who knows? It's random.
Don't tell me there were no attacks on people and you were bound by the deal. President Trump didn't even bind himself by the deal.
Right. He was never going to leave. Yeah, that's the point. That if you don't follow through, then you could just keep us there forever. He was going to punt on May 1st. Why does this asshole think that this is a sales point? Dan, you are not helping yourself. This is fucking ridiculous. Try another tack.
Said we'll do a deal if you guys can not kill people. Taliban losers. They said, no, we're Taliban. We have to kill people. And President
that's how the conversation went. And
said, okay,
Trump said, well, okay, we have to kill people too. So let's just stay here and keep killing people forever.
Kill you too. Biden's trying to say the opposite.
Yeah,
oh.
Yes, Biden is trying to say the opposite. We do not have to stay here and keep killing people. And we're not going to leave our people there so that you can kill them. Bye. It's fucking hell.
Trump signed the deal. It was so great. Nothing happened afterwards. I had to abide by it. Look, from the BBC piece. U.S. military, this is under Trump, again, has conducted an airstrike against Taliban fighters in Afghanistan just hours after Trump said he had a very good talk with the leader of the group.
The leader of the group. Who would that be? Was that guy the current leader of the group? Or was he talking about the guy he sprung out of a Pakistani jail who would now become the leader of the group?
Signed a deal with the Taliban on Saturday aimed at bringing peace to Afghanistan after years of war.
So
But
the U.S. signed a deal with the Taliban on Saturday aimed at bringing peace to Afghanistan after years of war. What are you talking about? If we signed a deal aimed at bringing peace, we would have involved the Afghan government. This is a fucking ridiculous article. Our deal was not about bringing peace to Afghanistan. The deal they signed was literally like, we don't give a fuck about Afghanistan anymore. Bye-bye. Just don't shoot our guys on the way out. You're in charge now, Taliban. Peace deal? What the fuck are you talking about?
U.S. Forces spokesperson said it launched an airstrike on Wednesday in response to Taliban fighters attacking Afghan forces in Helmand province. The Taliban called for de-escalation. So you had Trump cuts
a deal and never honors his side of it, meaning that the deal would not hold, and more than likely they would continue to allow, say, I don't know, Al-Qaeda to flourish in Afghanistan, meaning that we have to stay until they're all gone, and which means they're never going to be all gone, which means we never leave Afghanistan. Fuck, man, are you dumb? This is okay, it's one thing to, like, make an assertion about something that's dumb. It's another thing entirely to be wholly impressed at yourself for making said assertion when it is, quite frankly, arguably the dumbest take on this angle of it. His argument is this deal was always bullshit. It would have never been kept. And if Trump had stayed in office, he would have never kept his side of it. And the Taliban would never have kept this side of it because they're killers and that's what they do. God damn. Dude, moron. I'm kind of amazed.
to withdraw
Howell
from
cut his hair to replace Maddow. I kind of, I feel like she would have to grow her hair to replace me. I'm just saying. I love you, Rachel. You just have to live with the fact that I'm almost a foot shorter than you, and I beat you at basketball. True story. Ba-boom.
Afghanistan, which I agree with. So do a lot of Republicans and Democrats. Realizes the deal was broken, immediately attacks the Taliban. The Taliban backs down. Then you have Biden, again, wants to withdraw from Afghanistan, tries to cite the Trump deal, pulls out no matter what, no conditions-based withdrawal. No, just withdraw. We don't care what happens. Leads to this disaster. And then he tries.
Yeah, the disaster was ISIS, who are going to be fighting the Taliban, and Taliban is going to be fighting ISIS. It is not the Taliban did not break conditions. And the condition, the ultimate condition on not killing American soldiers, the ceasefire that the Taliban agreed to, was predicated on the condition. Their side had conditions too, see, that's how deals work when it's actually a deal and not, I guess, a threat, is that we were going to leave. And Trump supposedly at that time had every intention of going and was bragging about how May 1st was the hard date and we got to get out. And they couldn't stop his deal, right? He just said that a couple weeks ago. I did the whole Afghan withdrawal and they couldn't even stop it. Meanwhile, this asshole is saying, well, there's conditions though, and everybody could have stopped it. The Taliban could have stopped it. All the Taliban had to do was not protect an area, let ISIS or Al-Qaeda blow somebody up. We're staying in. We're staying in.
To blame Trump. Keep in mind, Biden didn't even abide by the deal. Trump's deadline was May 1st to get out. Last time I checked.
Yeah, they negotiated an extension with the Taliban so that we could save our Afghan allies, which Trump did nothing about. But sticking to the idea that we're actually leaving.
It's August.
Right. So we know his calendar works. Everything else.
Biden already had moved the date to September. You see how what he's trying?
No, we wanted to be out by September 11th. The removal date wasn't then. It was that we wanted to be out by then, meaning some date in August. They were looking at the 14th. It was kind of like Mike Lindell. They were punting around August to see when they could best get everyone out. And then it became hard out at the 31st because that was a mutually negotiated idea once the Taliban started surging across the country and the Afghan soldiers weren't doing anything to protect their own country. Fuck, he's dumb.
He's not trying to give Trump credit. He's trying to blame Trump. I know this is a little bit of a kind of a second order argument here.
Yeah, well, that's one way of describing it. A second order argument. It's almost like Dan Bongino is fucked up your order and you have to send it back.
But it's important. Do not let them flip the script. He's not trying to credit Donald Trump. He's trying to blame him, saying,
yeah, no one thinks he's trying to credit Donald Trump. Like, no one is making that argument. Is anybody? I'm serious. Have there been Republicans and Democrats that actually think when Biden comes out and is saying this was Trump's deal, but May 1st, we had to move it because of whatever, but he made this deal that we're going to do it. And I mean, multiple presidents have made a deal for us to leave, and we haven't.
Was going to get out no matter what, and that's why the Taliban didn't attack us. BS. Jay, they did attack us, and Trump fought back like Biden didn't.
They didn't. ISIS attacked us, dumb fuck. The Taliban have kept up their part of the deal even still.
After Trump signed his own deal, and then they didn't follow it. Don't fall for.
So wait a minute. At what point wasn't Trump bragging that the Taliban respected him? Right?
It's nonsense.
Wait, hold on. He made a deal with the Taliban and they were scared of him and he was very tough with them and they respected Trump. They don't respect Biden because they really respected Trump. And yet Dan Bongino is leading off this argument that, oh yeah, they made a deal with Trump to not kill soldiers, not shoot at people. And then they started killing people and shooting at soldiers. And then we had to fight back on them. And then like, this is just a recipe for the same shit that's been going on in Afghanistan for 20 years. How is this not an argument that Trump was just doing the same shit everyone had been doing with Afghanistan since we got Osama bin Laden?
Important point. I hope I explained this well.
You did not. You made a fucking mess of the whole thing. You are winning today's current Dum Dum Award. No one gets why you thought this would be helpful. Everyone is amazed. We're all amazed that your idea for defending Trump was to prove to everyone that Biden wasn't congratulating Trump and that the deal that Trump never intended to keep was ever going to get us out of Afghanistan, and that Biden, by getting us out of Afghanistan, wasn't keeping Trump's deal because it had conditions on the ground that could never be met by them or by him. Seriously, Dan, I commend you for being able to waste an entire segment on word salad and still be able to sell ads. You got to give the guy credit. He filled some air. There was no dead air in this. There was nothing said. And what was said was moronic and counterproductive to his entire take. But he didn't stop blathering. Dude, you are a fucking moron. Dan Bongino, I know you see these clips. I know people send them to you. I'm telling you, dude, this might be new heights of idiocy even for you. I don't even know if look at your face. I don't even know at the end of this if you thought you were successful making your argument, which was, by the way, doomed to fail as an unsuccessful argument anyways. There was no way the point you were trying to make would do anything but paint Trump as a punter kicking the can down the road, bullshitting his supporters, lying like an average politician to get elected, which you guys are always talking about. Oh, he's not a real politician. He's a businessman. He's a businessman. He's not really a politician. And he ran on getting out of Afghanistan. Chris Matthews loved him because he was going to get us out of these stupid wars. Nothing changed in Afghanistan from now to when Trump took office. So why the fuck did he not get out? I'll tell you why. Because he was weak and stupid and incapable of an intellectual understanding of the circumstances, just like you. And it is no surprise, Dan Bongino, that you are a Trump fart sniffer and will be forevermore. I'm beginning to think Geraldo is going easy on you because he thinks you're stupid. Honestly, I think I think Geraldo on those clips where he's yelling at you would go harder if he actually thought there wasn't something wrong with you. And by the way, if you don't believe me and you think this is just rando trolling, go back, find this clip. It's called "The Truth Behind Trump's Taliban Deal" on Dan Bongino show clips on YouTube, and watch it end to end without my interruptions, without my obvious recognition of the moronic take that's going on, without my insightful and comedic dissection. Watch the whole thing. And at the end of it, you know what the fuck he's talking about. You have nothing in common with me, my audience, even the trolls that watch this, or, for the record, Dan Bongino himself. There is no way his producer and the staff of his show have any idea what the fuck he's talking about. That's why he was like, "You're not nodding," to his producer. He can't nod. Dan, he doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. And not because he can't understand the depth of the argument, because it doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid. And I don't mean that in a pejorative sense. I mean, literally, it is a combination of stubbornness and ignorance. Willful ignorance meets stubbornness. And Dan Bongino is born. Holy hell. His 5 eggs and no sense. That's right. Today's 5 eggs award goes to, for the greatest misunderstanding of an issue. Hold on. I got to put this in here.
5 eggs. 5 eggs in a month.
Yeah, that's right.
Eat 2 eggs a day. 5 eggs.
Yeah. So, Dan Bongino gets the 5 eggs award today. Congratulations, Dan.
5 eggs.
You get 5 eggs. That's right. This is the award we give for people who seem to so deeply misunderstand an issue so as to even embarrass themselves.
5 eggs.
That's right. Congratulations, Dan Bongino. And now I got to create a graphic that pops up 5 eggs and it like boom. Now I got to work on that. I designed the shirt and then there was an error on Teespring. Don't get me started. Grumble.
5 eggs.
For Dan Bongino.